My name is Samara Maloney, and I am a content creator slash influencer and a brand identity designer.
So, as a digital creator, what is your most popular social media network?
Instagram, for sure. It's the one I'm focused on building.
And with that, you have been able to connect with international brands.
Yes, I have actually been able to connect with international brands more so than Trinidadian brands than local brands. Ole Henriksen, Urban Skin RX, Pretty Little Thing, Fabletics, Lulu.
Wow. What happened? Where was the outreach there? How did they reach out to you?
I think a myth is that brands have to reach out to you continuously, but it's both ways. And I spend a lot of time reaching out to brands that I would like to work with. Ula Henriksen, they reached out to me via Instagram DMs. They actually literally messaged me and was like, I saw you commented on this person's pictures that you love our products. We love to send it to you as well. So I was like, yeah, finally, because that is actually one of my favorite brands, my favorite skincare brands. It's a lot of me reaching out to them or they reaching out to me.
This idea of being an influencer can be a little tired in terms of, all these people are just going out there and being themselves or not being themselves. What is your process with that? And, in terms of your content right now on Instagram, how do you create, that content and what's the process behind it?
As somebody reaches out to me, I obviously like go do a little background check on if I'm not familiar with the business, but I mean most times I am. And most times I try to stick within something that I know I would like or something that I know will be good or my audience knows that I like because my audience very much knows the things that I say I have liked and the things that I said that I don't. First, yeah, that's the first thing I do. I check their Instagram and then I check to see the things that they have reposted. So if my goal is to be reposted by the brand, then checking their Instagram to see the things that they are custom posting and the content that they like is like top priority. And then Pinterest for info. um and then obviously within the guidelines that they sent on what they require from me.
And you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier about your location being in Trinidad and second would be United States. What would be the majority in terms of the gender?
What do you think? Do you think is more male or more female? Like just
Well,
watching my Instagram.
well, I've been in this industry for a long time, and it's just by default women are always more majority.
Oh, for real. Okay, so I have more male followers than
Well,
female.
you are a unicorn because you'd be surprised that that's a very interesting
Yeah.
tidbit to know. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And since that, I just kind of focus my content to more women. So I have actually done well with trying to bring down the numbers and level the playing field because I'm right now I'm at 40% women and 60% men, but it was way off before.
That's a very interesting note because I would think you would be a great person to partner with from the male perspective brands, and be able to work with brands and say, okay, you have the attention span of this gender. What can we do to connect with that audience? When it comes to
Yeah.
these collaborations, you mentioned earlier that it's usually the international companies, and I found that too. It's easier to have those conversations with them because you have evidence that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where does the monetary conversation start? Because you have this idea of getting products versus being paid. How are you balancing that? Where does that conversation start?
Well, there's PR and then there's paid partnerships. Brands will send packages or new products that they will like you to try out, and a lot of brands do it, especially now locally as well. So like recently I got a White Oak PR package which included their new pink grapefruit flavor, and that doesn't require any kind of posting most of the times, I guess, because it's a nice package, people will post it anyway. So I guess that's why the brand does it because they know it's going to be posted anyway to your story at least. It's actually up to you to decide, am I going to do this for free or am I not? And what is the brand asking of me? And then you would decide, okay, well, here are my rates. A lot of the times, brands are like, a lot of the times you have to negotiate because, I mean, it's business, you have to negotiate. And brands tend to say that they don't have the budget, or which is a lie because you definitely have marketing budgets. They just think influencers could do this for free. um, so yeah, it's up to you to say, okay, well, you're asking this, and this is how much I usually charge, and this is my rate generally. If they have a budget that is tight, you could just lower the deliverables. The most I've been paid so far, and I'm doing this a year now, would be 2,000 US
Okay.
for one post on Instagram. The disadvantage of being in Trinidad is that a lot of brands that have the money to do things like that would be the, let's say, the furniture brands or the bigger brands that are more lifestyle brands that really, they're like, okay, cool. Um, I think fashion would be the brands that have the least amount of budget for that. You hardly see brands that cater to or want influencers from the Caribbean. Like they don't really say, yeah, we're running this campaign and we want mostly people from the Caribbean. You don't see US brands doing that. But I have never seen US brands doing that. You have a better chance if you are from the US or from the UK, and brands quicker want to work with you like that.
What would be your dream brand to work with? What's the company you would like to collect that coin from?
So in fashion, it would be um Miss Lola or Miss Guided, J-Lock's label, House of CB, or Nike or Adidas. For skincare or beauty, it will be Fenty. I told my friends this that until I could give away a car, then I'm not gonna stop at trying to, be a content creator.
What is the biggest myth about being in this content creation space?
That we just post for we just take pictures for brands. Like there's nothing into it. It's so easy. Yeah, that's the biggest myth for sure. Because it's not easy and it's not just us posting pictures. It's a lot. Posting pictures is literally like the last step. There's so much more energy and effort that goes behind it otherwise. But yeah, that's the biggest myth that it's easy.
So would you say if you were sitting down in front of, Rihanna, you're about to land this deal and she asks you, what value would you bring to my company? What would you say to her?
Well, Riri, I'm from the Caribbean. She's from Barbados. Um, yeah, I will give that Caribbean spice that you are accustomed to that you may not be reaching with just the US brand because obviously Fenty is from the US, but Rihanna is from Barbados. A lot of them, they don't, as I said before, they don't really target you Caribbean influencers as much. I do more content that I like rather than content from brands because it's not always you seeing something that is sponsored on my page and you feel like if maybe that's not authentic. If I buy food today, I'll post that and it's not sponsored. So, I always try to balance it out where I post way more non-sponsored content um, than sponsored content.